Hello friends, I am Sanjay Majumdar, a practicing advocate of Calcutta High Court and also I am practicing in Circuit Bench of Calcutta High Court at Jalpaiguri. Today we shall discuss what is rate, that is the aspect of rates. First, what is rate? Rate is a type of order which is pronounced by either by Supreme Court or by High Court and which protects your fundamental rights. Therefore, friends, you can think that our constitution has given you certain type of rights, and to protect that rights, there is judiciary. The judiciary means the High Court and the Supreme Court, which are protecting your fundamental rights. Now, the fundamental rights are drafted in the Part 3 of Constitution from Article 12 to 35. Therefore, any of these rights with any of these articles, if that is violated by any authority or by the state, now you can approach to the High Court or to the Supreme Court to protect that thing, to protect that right. In this regard, I am giving you a very easy example. Suppose you have purchased an ornament, a gold ornament. Now, when you have purchased an ornament, the first thing which shall come to your mind that how to protect, how to safeguard that ornament. Similarly, the rights are there that is given by the Constitution, and to protect that right or those rights, our Constitution has given you the right which actually our Constitution vested the power to the judiciary to protect those rights. There are so many fundamental rights. To protect your fundamental rights, you shall approach to High Court under Article 226 or to the Supreme Court under Article 32. As I just said that Part 3 of Indian Constitution says for your fundamental right, and Part 3 of Indian Constitution comprises from Article 12 to 35. Therefore, filing of writ to the Supreme Court of India under 32 is also your fundamental right. However, there are two differences between filing a writ in High Court or in Supreme Court. You can file a writ petition directly to Supreme Court under Article 32. But for that, if you file a writ petition to the Supreme Court by virtue of Article 32, you have to state the reason why you have not approached to High Court under Article 226. This is the first thing. And the second thing is that under Article 32, the Supreme Court will protect only your fundamental rights. However, under Article 226, the High Court shall protect your fundamental rights and some other things. In this regard, you have to, I am telling it again and again, that filing a writ to the Supreme Court is also your fundamental right. However, filing a writ to the High Court is not your fundamental right, because as per Article 32, it comes under Part 3 of the Constitution, and Part 3 consists from Article 12 to 35. That's why filing a writ petition to the Supreme Court of India is your fundamental right. However, filing a writ petition to the High Court under Article 226 is not your fundamental right. Now the question comes, against whom I shall file a writ petition? Now, you have to keep in mind that your fundamental right has been violated. By whom? By any authority which comes under the purview of Article 12, that is state. Now, there is divergence of opinion regarding the definition of state. You have to think in mind, you have to keep in mind that state means the Union of India, any state, that is state government of any state. However, you can file writ petition against some authorities which are not neither their Union of India, neither nor their any state government, like a university. You can file a writ petition against the university when your fundamental right has been violated by that university. You can file a writ petition against bank also. Is bank a state? No, bank is not a state. But you can file a writ petition against a bank because it comes under the definition of Article 12. Now, the thing is that there are so many of banks. Now, against which banks you can file a writ? You can file a writ against only the nationalized banks. In this regard, you have to keep in mind two things. Firstly, the authority against whom you are going to file a writ petition, that must be created by a statute, like universities are created by statutes. Secondly, there may be an institute which is not created by a statute, but which is upon which a public duty is conferred. Against that authority, you can file a writ petition. In this regard, I am referring you a case. In the case of Zee Telefilm Limited versus Union of India, the Honorable Supreme Court has stated that Board of Control for Cricket in India, that is BCCI, is not a state, and against BCCI you cannot file a writ petition because there are two main things. Firstly, BCCI is not created by any statute. Secondly, no capital of BCCI is owned or controlled by the government of India or any state in India. And thirdly, BCCI is not regulated. BCCI has no power to issue some laws or something like that. It is merely a regulating authority. Therefore, by 3-2 majority, Supreme Court has held that against BCCI you cannot file a writ petition. Now, I am telling you what are the types of writ petition. There are 5 types of writ petition given in our constitution. Firstly, habeas corpus. The habeas corpus is the most powerful writ. In this writ, you can approach to, by this writ you can approach to either to High Court or to Supreme Court. When a person has been illegally detained by the state authority, you can approach to the High Court or Supreme Court, that is before to the judiciary. And if the judiciary finds that this detention is illegal, they shall allow this writ of mandamus and they shall give you your liberty. In this regard, I am citing a case, a very popular case, that is Rulul Shah versus State of Bihar. In this case, the appellant was convicted and he was detained, and after the detention period, he again was detained for 14 years. And that person moved to the judiciary, before the judiciary, and judiciary allows his liberty and gave some compensation to him. Now, secondly, another writ is there, that is writ of mandamus. Mandamus is a type of command. I am giving you a very easy example. Suppose you were working as a teacher in charge of a school which is controlled by a state authority. Your friend is also working in a school. That school also is managed and controlled by the state authority. Now the authority which is governing your principals has given you and your friend a promotion for the purpose of headmastership. Now your friend has been appointed with the headmastership, but the state has denied you. Now what will you do? This is a clear violation of Article 14, because Article 14 says that equality before law and equal protection of law. You shall file the writ petition, and the court shall give you the command to whom? To their authority. Now comes writ of certiorari. Certiorari is mainly issued against the lower courts or tribunals. When the lower courts or tribunal issues or pronounces judgment by going beyond to its jurisdiction, then you can file the writ of certiorari. Now, another writ comes, that is writ of prohibition. In between writ of prohibition and writ of certiorari, there is very much nexus. I can say one thing. You have heard a term that is prevention is better than cure. For P, that is prevention, and in relating to that P, you can remind in your mind that writ of prohibition. Why I am giving this example, I am explaining this. When a judgment is pronounced by a lower court or tribunal by exercising its power beyond its jurisdiction, after pronouncement you shall go to the judiciary for that to quashing that order, by which it by the writ of certiorari, that is cure. Right now I have said prevention is better than cure. For C, that is cure, after a damage has been made, to cure that damage you shall move to the either to the High Court or to the Supreme Court for certiorari. But prior to that, when you were observing that a judgment may come and court is violating its territorial jurisdiction or any other jurisdiction, and it may give a judgment by violating its jurisdiction, prior to pronouncement of that judgment, you can file a writ petition in the name of prohibition to prohibit. And lastly, the last writ that comes, quo warranto. Quo warranto is that writ through which the court shall ask the authority by which virtue, by how you have acquainted that post. These are the 5 types of writs. Now I am telling you a very practical experience from my slight practice life. I have seen one thing. Suppose you are filing a writ petition. Now you are filing a writ petition for any act which is not done by any authority. For that purpose, I am telling you one thing. Now your fundamental right has been violated by any authority. My suggestion is, when you are filing a writ petition, you first write to that authority a request or a proposal to go through your version and give him a chance to appoint him or to protect your fundamental right. Now you have written a letter or a request or something alike in nature that has not been given effect by that authority. You annex it and file the writ petition. Thank you very much, friends.